the world may have different perspectives, may have different points of view. There are people with all kinds of worldviews all around us, but there is only one truth. And the thing is, they may not like it. They may say, who are you to say that you have the truth with you? I have the truth. I know better. All these other opinions people may have. They can say whatever they want, but you have to finally come to confrontation with the fact that there is truth. And the truth is Jesus Christ. Because He is the owner, He is the creator. Colossians chapter 1 and verse 17 says, all things hold together, all things consist in Him. So anybody having a different point of view, worldview, they have every right to hold their own worldview, but ultimately you have to come to the truth and acknowledge that there is a person in whom everything holds together, everything consists, and you cannot go anywhere else. Where else can you go? So it's not about me proving the gospel is true. There is the truth. There is no other way. The person has to come there. So our concern is a world which is rejecting God, a world that is refusing to accept Jesus into their life. It is they who are is kicking against a rock. The rock won't move. The more you kick, you're the one who's going to get hurt. So that's what I want. I would like people to realize that's the gospel. So you got to come there. The only thing is that those of us who say we believe in the truth and we live the gospel, the problem is we often are the ones who don't demonstrate the gospel. And so they look at us and say, you guys are saying you have the gospel, you have the truth, but you don't seem to live it. And so unfortunately, we who are the ones who are the messengers of the gospel, often we are the stumbling blocks for others to receive and accept the gospel.
What other options do you have? You have a world of you finding the meaning in yourself, where you defined you are the center of the world and you try to find the meaning amongst you. Well, your resource is very limited. You can think 2 dimensions, you can think 3 dimensions, but even if you want to see 3D, you need an external pair of glasses to even fathom what a 3D is, right? When you go to a 3D movie, you don't have the resources that your eyes can even see 3 dimension. And what makes you think that you can define something? If you really go about defining all these things and find a definition of love, then you go around and search the whole world, then you come back to Jesus and then find out it's pure, unconditional, unadulterated, and you cannot find that love anywhere you want. You want that. People want that. Trust me. You look at another definition of truth, like he said. You go around and find everywhere else. And then you come back to saying absolutely tested, verified truth that you can anchor your life in. Then you come back and discover it in Jesus. And there is this whole idea of life. You go and find out what life is, and then everybody talks about first, second, third chapter, fourth chapter, innings, all this. And then you come and find out that Jesus offers life, and that life is beyond death. In fact, it is eternal in nature. You come back around to find out a world that continues to search for all these things but does not want to accept Jesus. So is the gospel relevant? I think it is. And I think everybody knows this. Just like Romans 1 says, the true nature of God is revealed right from the beginning through the creation itself. And God put so much of Him outside there so that no one can ask any question and find out and blame God saying, I do not know God. There is so much He put Himself out. The issue is not in the oppression of truth, but the issue is in the suppression of truth. I think people don't want to accept Jesus. Is the gospel relevant? Yes. But do people want to accept? No, they don't want to even search. So my answer is, you find the definition of everything you're looking for, you will find it in Jesus.
I was reminded of the word of Billy Graham, who once said, in all these years, 2 things have never changed. One is the heart of humanity, and the other is the heart of God. Both haven't changed. So is the gospel relevant? I think it is absolutely relevant. More so, it's very exciting for me to say that, because in today's world, you see it all over the place. you follow even mainstream media, there are so many connections to questions of ethics, right, wrong, meaning, purpose. Now, these are questions which you will have to come back to God or theology to fathom. These questions are even beyond, at least some of them are beyond the scope of science or history. So there is a very relevant place for God in today's world. You also mentioned about children and the needs they have in your introduction. Now, I was also thinking of this gentleman, Subrata Bagchi, who was a co-founder of the Mindtree software giant. He's also an author. He wrote a book once called MBA at 16. Before he wrote that book, he went and interviewed a lot of young people, children in schools. And to his shock, in some of the premier schools in Bangalore, he discovered people said it's all right to cheat. So he was like baffled, and then he's trying to talk to them, find out why would you say it's okay to cheat. And the guys are saying, these teenagers are saying, well, even if we get caught, we can use the money and maybe come out and still keep the money. And that's the conversation people are having. So you see, it's not just education that can solve the problem. We need something that's far deeper. And yes, Billy Graham is right. I mean, the heart of human beings hasn't changed since time immemorial. And so is the heart of God, who seeks out for fallen human beings to change and transform them.